Hi, vacation rental owner or manager. Today we're talking about one of the most powerful tools in STR design, themes. But not cheesy themes or trendy themes. We're going to talk about strategic, revenue-driving themes that can sell your stay. Hi, vacation rental owner. I'm Kara Shimizu, and welcome to the Step Up Your STR podcast, which is all about specialized decorating so that you can make max revenue from your STR business. I've designed over 40 STRs, all of which charge in the top 10% of their area competitors or make up to 153% more after working with me. Okay, themes, they are powerful and misunderstood in STR design. Because they're so powerful, I want to address them. We don't want our themes to be gimmicky or trendy, but to drive revenue, to create unforgettable and Instagrammable focal points for your guests. We want themes that will make guests stop the scroll, click on your listing, and remember your property long after they leave. Here's the truth. Guests decide before they read anything on a listing. They decide just by how your listing looks, by how that first photo looks, if it's worth clicking on it. People book with their eyes first. Your decor does the selling or repelling, and we want to stick with selling. So what makes decor sell your vacation rental to potential guests is uniqueness and memorability. It's not just, generic things like nice or updated. It's definitely not neutral, but memorable. Memorable is what people want. They want a unique vacation. And themes, when done correctly, create memorability faster than almost anything else. But here's the catch. Some themed STRs don't do great. So today I'm going to show you how to create themes that feel elevated, how themes increase bookings and nightly rates, how to build Instagrammable focal points without trends, and how to choose the right theme for your specific property. So let's start with why some themed Airbnbs don't work. Most make one big mistake, and that is trying to theme everything. Matching decor, overdone props, cheap themed decorations, and no restraint. And the result is it looks cluttered, low end, and it feels like a cartoon. Here's the rule. A theme is not a decorating style, but it's a story. And stories need a focal point. So we'll talk quite a bit about having a focal point. In other words, you don't need to theme the whole property. You can create one unforgettable moment. One place where guests will walk in and say, oh, wow. It can be one place they photograph and remember, and it only needs to be one place that has to sell your listing. This is where an Instagrammable focal point comes in. Now, a strong theme has 5 characteristics. It has clarity, it evokes emotion, there's contrast, it's photographable, and there's restraint. Okay, so clarity, guests instantly get it. It's very clear. They don't have to kind of sift through any of your photos. They just immediately understand. Emotion. Emotion is like your theme will help evoke nostalgia or joy, calm, wonder, fun. Contrast. Contrast is that the theme will visually stand out. It's not going to blend in with everything else. It visually stands out from other properties and from the rest of your space. Okay, photographability. Guests want to take photos of it and of themselves beside that focal point. Also, restraint. You want a really strong moment, not chaos, which is good because that takes the pressure off of you to have to theme a whole property. You can do one strong spot. This is how you get your themes to perform well. Remember that generic blends in, memorable and unique stands out, and standing out equals more revenue. Okay, so I'm going to share some really powerful theme categories and how to use them correctly, or how I would suggest using them according to what I have seen in my own designing. Theme category 1 is movies. Movie themes work because they trigger instant emotional connection. Nostalgia is powerful, and an emotion that comes from what they remember of a movie, that can really drive booking decisions. So some examples of movies that make a great theme are Toy Story, E.T., The Wizard of Oz, Star Wars, and James Bond spy movies. But remember, you're not building Disneyland. You are creating, however, one immersive focal experience. So some examples of strong focal experiences would be a huge glowing neon sign of the E.T. bike flying across the moon. Have a great big neon sign on a wall. You could paint a yellow brick road entry path to go with the Wizard of Oz. You could make a Toy Story bunk room with really playful, oversized toys in it. These are experiences, not decorations. A movie theme works because it helps guests feel something more than being at just another vacation rental. Now, here's a pro tip. Don't use the name of the movie in your property, or explicitly name your property after the movie on your listing, because that could be a copyright infringement. All right, theme category 2, an era of time or a time period. This is a really fun and a powerful and underused theme in STR design, because era themes help guests really feel a connection to, something that they may have experienced before, and they can feel like they were transported somewhere. So a few examples of the time period theme are with a Jane Austen romantic classic theme, and you could make a romantic Jane Austen reading nook with some beautiful satin drapery and a candlelight mood. You could have a 1970s retro escape theme that you make into a bold 1970s bedroom with color and texture. If you have a 1980s theme, you could create like a neon lit 80s game corner with an air hockey table, for example. This era or time period category feels immersive, not just themed. People love immersing themselves in nostalgia because that creates fun memories, and memories create focal or emotional attachment. Emotional attachment drives repeat bookings. Theme category 3, a place or destination. This theme taps directly into the psychology of travel. Guests already want to escape, and a destination-inspired focal point can double that feeling. So some examples are to focus on national parks, Japan, Mexico, Africa. The key is inspiration, not necessarily exact imitation. You want to create a feeling and, have it be separate from the rest of what guests normally experience. Some specific Instagrammable focal ideas are a layered national park landscape wall, a serene Japanese tea corner, a vibrant back patio with colors that you'd see in Mexico, a safari-inspired African animal playroom for little kids. This works because it's really unique, and it's relatively easy to think of ways to get the feeling of a cool destination. There's so many different directions you could go with this. Theme category number 4, color. Now, if you've listened to a few of my podcasts, you probably know I love vibrant color. It is one of the simplest and strongest ways to make your place stand out. So some examples of color that you could use in mass would be pink, gold, blue. You don't need to get everything in the same color, but I think that is a fun thing to do in one area. So you can choose just one bold photogenic color statement, like a dramatic pink feminine bedroom, or a warm gold glowing dining room, a cozy deep blue study or office area. Color photographs beautifully, and photos drive bookings. Theme category number 5, sports. Sports themes work incredibly well for family STRs and group stays. So examples, of course, baseball, football, soccer. But avoid sports overload because that can get kind of cheesy. Instead, create one experiential gathering place. Remember, sports are good for a lot of people to gather. So some ideas would be like a heritage baseball family room, a football-themed lounge with stadium-type lighting. How cool would that be? Or maybe a soccer-themed kids' room with wall murals of some of the current soccer legends and make those life-size. Themes like sports create shared experiences, and people love to make memories together on their vacations, and strong memories equal repeat bookings for you. Okay, here's the formula to create Instagrammable without being too trendy. You need a focal point. It needs to have a clear story, emotional pull, visual interest, photographic appeal, and simplicity. Simplicity in that the theme is straightforward in photos. It's not a bunch of randomness put together that looks confusing online. Stories last and make memories, and that's why themes outperform just trendy, trend-driven decor. So how this connects to revenue, let's talk money. When your STR becomes memorable, it stops the scroll. You know, you can scroll through 100 STRs on the Airbnb website. Everything's gray and tan, and you're scrolling and you're scrolling. But if you see something memorable, that will stop your scroll, and it will stop the scroll of potential guests. Your clicks will increase. Booking conversion will increase just by the number of clicks. You can charge a higher nightly rate for a really interesting space that is differentiated from all the people around you. Your reviews will improve because people mention how fun or unique your place is. Photos get shared, and your listing can rise in ranking. Differentiation really matters. It isn't decoration, it's actually revenue. So how do you choose the right theme? I suggest choosing based on your target guest. You know, if you're hoping to attract families, a sports theme could be great. Think about your location. If you're in a place with mountains, maybe a hiking and adventure theme would be good. Think about your property's personality. If you own a Victorian brownstone in New York City, you can go for an ornate Victorian style study. Also think about what photos will stand out in search. So a vibrant color theme like green can look amazing in online photos. The goal isn't cute or like a cartoon, certainly, which a lot of themes can look like, but the goal is memorable and elevated and bookings worthy. Okay, a few final thoughts. If your Airbnb looks just nice, it probably blends in. But if it feels memorable, it stands out and it earns more. How your STR looks determines how much money it makes. If this episode was valuable, would you consider leaving a review? It would help us grow so that other STR owners and managers can find this show. And if you want some guidance creating a theme and focal point that actually increase your bookings and can increase your nightly rate, I'm here for that. And you can find my contact link in the description. All right, decor is your first sales conversation with potential guests, and when it's done right, it sells for you. Thank you so much for listening. Good luck with your STR business. I really want every STR owner to do the very best that they can. There is so much room for growth and joy and abundance that can come with these businesses. I look forward to talking again next time.